Welcome back to Lens Studio. In this video, we're gonna do some coding to show you how you can add more feature to your project. In Lens Studio, you don't have to code at all. And in fact, later we'll show you how you can create interactivity and animation without coding. Also, don't worry, this is the only time in this course where we will code. And if you don't know how to code, it's not a problem at all. But I thought it might be fun to show you that Lens Studio is also a great way to learn how to code, as it's very visual. Moreover, it will start to show you that the templates are just normal projects that you can make too. Feel free to skip ahead and get the code in the description down below as well. Okay, let's start by looking at the problem first. If you select the image object, you can see there is no option for the shadow. Also, if you rotate your image, you can see only one side of it's getting rendered. To fix this, we can use JavaScript to tell the image component to render shadows and its material to render the texture on both sides. First, let's select the image object and click on Add Component and select the script. This component lets you assign a script to it. Since we don't have any script yet, click on Add Script. In the Open window, go to the script folder since we want our script to be created there. And then select Add New Script. Let's rename our script to My Cutout Controller. Then, double-click on it in the Resources panel to get it open in the Script Editor window. Before we start coding, I want to show you how you can use the API page in the Lens Studio website, which will help us understand what we can do through the script. Let's open the Lens Studio website. Then, click on Learn and select API. In this page, you can see different functions and properties that you can access in the Lens Studio. Since we want to make our image to cast shadow, I'm gonna search for image in the search bar. Now scroll down to get to the API section and select image. Then, if you scroll down, you will see there is a shadow mode in this page, which, if we pass 1 to it, the object will cast shadow. Pro tip, in all these pages, at the very bottom, there are example code you can use to help you get started. Now that we know the code that tells the image component to cast shadow, let's bring it into our lens. Let's go back into the Lens Studio script editor. First, we're gonna tell the lens to get the scene object that has our script and then select the image component so we can modify some values on it. We will start by saying script. Now, as soon as I start typing, it showed me some suggestions. Then, after writing the script, we put a dot to see what other suggestion it has. And since we want to modify the image that is on the same object as the script component, we can write getSceneObject. Also, to get the image component, we can say getComponent, parentheses, and in the parentheses, we search for the image component and the script editor will write it for us. Now we have access to all values of the image component. Let's go back to the API page and see the shadow properties again. You can see if we pass 1 to meshShadowMode, it will cast shadow. Now I'm gonna go back to the script editor again and write meshShadowMode equals 1. Then we just add semicolon to tell JavaScript that we are done with this line. Now press Command S to save the script. Amazing! Now we can see in the preview panel that the shadow is working. Let's do the same thing, except for having our image render on both sides. First, I'm gonna rotate the image object so I can see that it's not rendering on both sides. If you used Material Editor in Lens Studio before, you will know that two-sided rendering exists on the material. I can show it to you by clicking on Add New and search for Unlit Material in the Resources panel. Now you can see in the Inspector panel there is a checkbox that will make our object to render on both sides. With that being said, in our code, let's go to the new line and write the exact same thing. This time, right after getComponent, we're gonna add mainPass. This will give us access to our material properties. Then, search for two sides, then set it to equal to true. Let's save again and now our texture shows up. That's it! We made our own cutout controller! I'm gonna do a cleanup to the code to show you what else you can do with this script. You can see we added some additional code that will allow us to add the custom UI to our script. In this way, we can toggle the shadow and two-sided options in the inspector and without modifying the script at all. Don't worry too much about this. I just wanted to show you how flexible Lens Studio is. Also, as I said before, you can get the code in the description down below. Alright, I hope you feel excited and inspired to see what you can do with the Lens Studio. See you in the next video where we will use some of the built-in feature of the Lens Studio to take our city to a whole new level.